Mark Tarmardall again, and I'm on the BrainGauge channel. And this video is the How It Works channel. And basically, I'm just going to go through a little bit of the concept of how the BrainGauge works and how you would actually look at the data and what it could do for you. So let's get right to it. And first, I got to share the screen and show. Okay, so what we want to do is talk about how does the BrainGauge work. And basically what you see here is you see the BrainGauge. This is a device that's vibrating the fingertips. Now keep in mind it's vibrating both fingers and with different sequences of stimuli or different shape stimuli. They're usually sinusoidal. And there's a lot of reasons for that, but other lectures can talk about why we use what we use. But basically what we want fidelity questions to different parts of the brain, different mechanisms of information processing. And different videos will talk about different features of the different features of brain information processing. And those will include things like lateral inhibition, information processing speed, feed-forward inhibition, timing, connectivity, timing perception, plasticity or adaptation. And what we do is when we deliver stimuli to the fingers, we ask the person who's taking the test, okay, something about what they feel. And the questions are really, really tough. They're like, which one's bigger? Which one came first? Or which one lasted longer? And the first question is really easy. So it's just like, and then each question, if you get the answer right, each question gets a little harder. So subsequently, what we do, it's like, the question get harder, but it's a lot like reading an eye chart, except you're doing it with your fingers. So here we go. Here's the eye chart over here. And as you remember, anybody who's taken an eye chart exam to get their eyeglass prescription will know, it does start out easy and then it gets harder and harder. Well, if it gets harder, then it's working right. But each of those questions gives us information about these different features of information processing. So then what do we do with that? Basically what we do is we convert them to simple measures. So, speed is converted to some scale bar, and then different mechanisms are given different names. And let's not worry about the names right now. But basically the thing to remember is red is bad and green is good. So a full bar of 100% means you did very well on that. And these ranges are basically determined from normative data. And we've got a couple of thousand control subjects that we've had from many, many studies over the years. We've got over 100 publications and we've gone through all that data, but we know what normative values should look like. And we display the data in a couple of different ways. One is this is called a bar chart. And it goes from 0 to 100, 100 being the best, 0 being the worst. And then you have an overall cortical metric or overall score, which is an average of all your other things. And that's really the easiest thing to keep up with. But we also do radar charts. And the radar chart is slightly different. Some people like it better. Some people prefer the bar chart. I prefer the bar chart and just looking at the raw numbers, but that's just me. But anyway, it's really your preference. So what do you do with this? Well, the important thing about using the BrainGauge, or the best thing to use with is for tracking. And so if you want to track data, you really want to compare the scores and see how that person is doing or how you are doing in response. Now, in this case, this was just tracking a recovery of somebody's concussion. This patient had a concussion. This was day 1 post-concussion. You see, they didn't really do all that great. Day 6 post-concussion, they did a little better. And day 14, they did a lot better. Now, without me telling you anything specific about those numbers, you intuitively grasp that they are doing better. Now, this is really not what the analysis app looks like. I'm going to show you exactly what the analysis app looks like right now. So if you have the BrainGauge, and basically you take about 30 seconds to download the analysis app, and I'm going to put a video on there where a 10-year-old installs the the Brain Gauge app. But basically, on one side, you have subject IDs or individual names or whatever you choose. Usually people have some number associated with patient ID. I just regroup these as patient 1 through patient 10. You select the patient we want to look at, and then you look at the patient history. And so here we are, we're here, this started September 14th through October 13th. And you see this person took a really long time to recover. But this is what their scores look like at this point. So anyway, that's basically what the analysis app looks like. Now, so that's basically what the analysis app looks like. And you know, what you do is you track, and the overall score is what you do track. And that's basically how the Brain Gauge functionally works. You deliver stimuli to the skin to probe brain function. Those values are really done just like an eye chart. They're extracted just like an eye chart because the person taking the test is answering very simple questions. Very easy to do. It takes no administration. And once they're done, then you have and you collect data over time. You have a nice record of how they've responded to treatment, or in this case, just have they recovered from their initial condition. So anyway, I'm going to stop sharing now, and that's all for how it works.